Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for coming to watch another What Else is Going On, aka We Go podcast video. I am your girl, your host, Taria. So there is a TikToker I watch, and she'll say, it's Saturday, 11:03 a.m. Get out the bed. We got stuff to do. And whenever I hear that get out the bed, even if I'm watching it later, as problematic as she can be sometimes. That get out the bed is like, yeah, that's right. I have, when she says we have stuff to do, it reminds me you got stuff to do. So y'all get out the bed, unless, of course, you're resting, because we also deserve days of rest. This hustle culture has people thinking, and I'm guilty of it myself because I decided to take today off. And I told my husband in bed this morning, I feel guilty that I'm not going out there making money because I know it could be made out there, right? So I'm guilty of it myself, but the money is going to come as long as we keep doing what we're supposed to do, and it's going to come by way of us doing what we want to do. I'm firmly believing that. So I'm gonna come to y'all with two videos so far. I still have to do my Beverly Hills recap, and can I just say, I don't know. It feels, I don't know. I have two feelings about it. While I'm enjoying Beverly Hills, it's not like I'm excited to do a recap like it would be if it was Salt Lake City, or if it would be if it was Atlanta. I don't know why. Like, I'm enjoying watching, or it's a pleasant watch, but I'm not like, oh yeah, Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? I don't know. So, but I'm gonna get that out to y'all. But this first video is not Bravo related. We're gonna get into what else is going on in this world, things that have been circulating for days that I wanted to talk to y'all about it, but I was out there in that hustle culture. So let's get into it. Y'all, my arms are so sore. I did arms yesterday. I go back and forth, right? I'll get on a kick of doing my weights because I was always cardio focused. And you got to figure out what works for your body. They say women over 40, don't concentrate on cardio, on weights. But I know you figure out what works for you. Try all the things, but go by what's best for you. So I have to, it's about making time, because if you do weights and cardio, you're going to be there longer, right? So I did both yesterday. And when I tell you I'm sore, but anyway, let's get into some things. First up, Jonathan Majors is clearly on a press run, right? He comes out, talks about the abuse that he suffered as a child, which we don't wish on anybody. Let's make that very clear. I will say that as adults, I was having this conversation with my family. A lot of people, or there are people out there that feel like because they recognize they have a problem with how they respond to things is enough. So they'll say, I know I'm nasty. I know I'm this. I know I'm that. But I should get points for recognizing that. No, 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 no. Because there are people that do things and they don't know where it comes from. They just know something is going on with me. But then there are people that know things are going on with them. They're doing things, but they feel like they should get acknowledgement just because they know it. No, you get acknowledgement because you take steps as an adult to help you get through that situation, whether it's counseling, what have you, any therapy, any of that, right? So while we don't wish what happened to Jonathan Majors on anyone, because I feel like when people hurt children, they need to be hurt. But anyway, um, as an adult, right, the goal is to get therapy to be able to help to deal with these issues. And it seems like when we reported on him a couple of days ago and his story come out, he did say he was in therapy and all of that. But then it seemed like that came out. Then the voicemail came out, the leaked audio about him admitting to putting his hands around the neck of his ex-girlfriend, right? After that comes out, all of a sudden, a wedding announcement comes out. And it seemed like the wedding happened on a whim. He was recently on Sherri Shepherd. I should have pulled that clip up, but it was him and her on Sherri, and Sherri's crying and saying, she's happy for them. And it wasn't like, it didn't seem like to me his mom flew into town to specifically marry them. It was like, oh, his mom was in town. She's a preacher. I don't know if she's a pastor or not, but I do know she's a minister. And so she married him and Megan, and her mom was there as a witness. So it just seems like from the outside looking in, to me, it seems like now we're talking about the marriage and not about the audio that leaked. And it seems like it was planned that way, right? So he's still been doing some interviews. So I want to get into two interviews that he did. The first one is, I think it's with Complex, and he talks about the audio being leaked. So let's get into that. I'm going to share that with y'all so y'all can see it. Oh, you know what? I said I was going to start doing because maybe that will help pulling up saying, because I've seen other people do this, and I was like, oh, you know what? That's a good thing to do. Uh, to talk about basically this is for discussion. This is for us to be fair use. You know, it's be able. We're looking at his interview for discussion, so we could talk about it. Here it is. I just found it. So basically, I guess am I supposed to say under certain circumstances, you can show certain things without permission from the copyright holder to discuss and all of that and all of those things. I know I'm not saying the exact legal mungo jumbo because I haven't pulled it up. But basically, YouTube, that's what I'm doing. I'm discussing this with the community. Okay. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Hold on. I'm already preparing myself to fight with this share screen, but it's fine.
Same as everything before.
Wait, hold on. What the heck? Oh, it's sharing already. Am I sharing with sound with y'all? Hold on, y'all. Let me stop it and make sure. Okay, share sound. All right, there we go. All right. Let's start it over and get into it.
Growth. This comes out during the week of your film's release. How did that make you feel?
I was so grateful that I had done my work, you know, and continue to and am continuing to do my work. I can't speak to it, but obviously because you're talking about it, you know, there are vibrations, you know, reverberations. Same as everything before, you know. But I was just, I was happy I'd done my work, you know. I was happy I'd done my work.
You said recently in an interview that when you have a struggle, learn, metabolize, grow. This incident happened just this week, so you haven't really had too much time to process with it. What have you been able to metabolize from that moment since it was leaked?
Yeah, I'm living life, you know.
When something like this comes out during the week
play it again, y'all.
of your film's release, how did that make you feel?
I was so grateful that I had done my work, you know, and continue to and am continuing to do my work. I can't speak to it, but obviously because you're talking about it, you know, there are vibrations, you know, reverberations. Same as everything before, you know. But I was just, I was happy I'd done my work, you know. I was happy I'd done my work.
You said recently in an interview that when you have a struggle, learn, metabolize, grow. This incident happened just this week, so you haven't really had too much time to process with it. What have you been able to metabolize from that moment since it was leaked?
Yeah, I'm living life, you know.
When something like this comes out,
You know what I thought was an odd question, and maybe it's just me. He says to Jonathan, you know, you said that when an incident comes up, you need to learn from it, metabolize, and grow. And this interviewer asked him, what has he learned and metabolized since the video was leaked? What is there to learn and metabolize and grow from? What I want to know, and I guess he can't speak to it, but I would think, and maybe he did, but maybe it was addressed. It was supposed to be addressed in that first question. What have you learned, metabolized, and grew from since you had your hands around her neck? Not since the audio of you admitting that you had your hands around her neck. What have you learned, metabolized, and grow? No, I mean, the audio was released. So what have you learned from putting your hands around her neck? And I'm sorry, style is everybody's style, but he looks like he's coming off the set of Life. The movie Life, like you gonna eat your cornbread. Like he's either dressed like he's leaving a State of the Union from like the early 1800s, get ready to go to church with Harriet Tubman. Part of me is joking to kind of lighten it a little bit, but he does, right? Like I said before, I was wondering him and Meagan, like if they had a big wedding, you'd have had to pack his put in the coat room your muskets and sometimes I feel like he dresses like they did in slave times. Okay, anyway, but in this one, he's a little more updated, but he looks like he came straight off the set of the movie Life a little bit. Or like, no, you know what? Like, what's the movie with Denzel Washington and Viola Davis? Fences. You know, I didn't work the long day down at the railroad. I'm just going to go have me a beer before I go home and give my Coretta my check. That's what he dresses like. But anyway, and when he talks about the reverberations or he says there are vibrations, reverberations. I'll never forget, I heard this pastor and he was kind of talking about the wrong things that he had done, right? And like and when people do things that they shouldn't, it comes from somewhere. So we know that when you hear the vibrations or the reverberations, I feel like I'm saying reverberation somewhere, but vibrations, they start from somewhere. So you may not see where the sound initially came from, but you hear the reverb from it, right? So for me, I felt like he was trying to say his interview, and this is in my mind, but the interview that he did talking about what he went through as a child, all of the different things that he went through was the sound, and his actions of like putting his hand on her, and some of his actions that he's had were the reverb that we heard. That's just what I took out of that interview, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Now let's get into him going down to the Breakfast Club. Jonathan is everywhere, child, promoting this movie. Are y'all going to watch his new movie? Let's get into it.
I'm coming, yeah, she took an incredible hit, She took so many hits, because
this is okay.
She took so many hits, because of it. She took, I don't think she mind me saying, like, yeah, she wasn't they weren't announcing it, but like she lost endorsements.
Wow.
We got uninvited to stuff,
Wow.
She got uninvited to stuff because she had shown just how down she was, and they knew if Megan's coming, Jay's coming, I'm coming, yeah, she took an incredible hit, and then just walking around, what I mean? Like a lot of our work, as you guys know, is like socializing,
right.
You know what I mean? And
we asked her that when she was up here as well, like the same question that Lauren just asked you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever feel like that was too much? And she said no. She knew that lady had God. That lady, yes. She talked about you with the same smile on her face that you have,
Yeah.
and strong.
Yeah.
Very strong woman.
She's stronger than me. She's stronger than me. She kept me up and continues to keep me up. I mean, before we walked in here, she was praying, come on, dang. And she took so many hits, because of it. She took, I don't think she mind me saying, like, yeah, she wasn't they weren't announcing it, but like she lost endorsements.
Wow.
We got uninvited to stuff.
Wow.
She got uninvited to stuff because she had shown just how down she was, and they knew if Megan's coming, Jay's coming. I'm coming. Yeah, she took an incredible hit. And then just walking around. You know what I mean? Like a lot of our work, as you guys know, is like socializing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
We asked her that when she was up here as well. You know, like the same question that Lauren just asked you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever feel like that was too much? And she said no. She knew that lady had God. That lady, yes, yes. She talked about you with the same smile on her face that you have. You know, and strong.
Yeah,
very strong woman.
She's stronger than me. You know, she's stronger than me. You know, she kept me up. It continues to keep me up. I mean, before we walked in here, she was praying, "Come on, thing," and she took so.
I do wonder when he says she's stronger than me. And that could mean, I've heard a lot of men say that about women. It makes me wonder if the situations were reversed, would he have gotten with her publicly at least? Would he have shown if, his star on the rise with him and um, Michael B. Jordan in movies and him being in Marvel and all these things, would he have put it on the line to be with her if she had been accused of some things that caused her career to go on a downward slope? I wonder. Somebody had said, I'm looking at some of these comments. Oh, it's not here. But somebody said he would have never done this for her. Somebody said that was her choice and that is her husband. The internet will have you lonely and unhealthy if you allow people to depict your love life, to each their own. Somebody said, y'all being real judgy and let regular people play in y'all face. Please stop talking about what you would have done when you will never be in their shoes. There was one man, I was trying to find the comment because when I read it, he said, I would have just dated her privately. I wouldn't have let her do that to her bag, meaning he wouldn't have let her announce them so publicly so she wouldn't lose her bag. So what do y'all think about that? To hear that she's lost different endorsements and things. Listen, at the end of the day, Meagan is grown, so she knew the cost, what could potentially be the cost of being with him. And, she decided to do it. I'm not saying it's fair that happened, of course, but I do believe she knew what she could possibly face, when deciding to come public with him. I said, oh, Jess tried to step into her interview bag, didn't she? She said, asked the question. I said, okay, Jess, you better come on. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about Meagan losing out on deals and endorsements. And also, do y'all think, at this point, this is conjecture, of course, or speculation, do you think that he would have done the same for her with his star being on the rise? Meagan's been in the game for a minute also, let's be clear, like known in the game since she was a child. So I know y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get into Auntie Wendy. There's so much different news floating around. So I was trying, because you hear, oh, she's going to be out of her conservatorship. Oh, she's released and moving into her own apartment outside of the building. Like, you hear all these things. So I went to go look and see if I could see what exactly was going on. So we're going to talk and I'm sorry. The clip that we watched was from The Breakfast Club, but it was from the Neighborhood Talk. And then the first clip that we watched was also from the Neighborhood Talk. Again, he was interviewing with Complex News. Let's get into Auntie Wendy. This is from The Sun. Wendy's win. Exclusive. Wendy Williams' first step to freedom granted as star battles guardianship in court after being locked up at center. So it's they have photos obtained by Wendy. And I'm going to say she looks good. And you know how we see that her feet swell, like with what she has going on, and she's always in the furry boots. I wanted to show you, it looked like she had regular shoes on. And I'm wondering, I forget when we watched that very first documentary, does her feet go up, go down? Like she has to put them up sometimes. But I just thought, I was like, look how she's in regular shoes and her feet, and it could be the shoe, but get out all these advertisements. But her feet don't look that big. This is her coming out of court. Like they don't look as swollen. Again, she's in regular shoes. Normally we see her in these, in the same boots that her niece has on. But she has on regular boots. I was wondering if with her condition that she has, does the consumption of alcohol contribute to the swelling also? Just wondering. But yeah, look, I don't know why that stuck out at me, but it just really did. But that's Wendy leaving the court. So now let's get into the article. In exclusive photos and video obtained by the U.S. Sun, Wendy, 60, beamed on her way out of the court on Monday after she faced the judge who holds the keys to her freedom from the restrictive guardianship she is under with Sabrina Morrissey. Oh, let's scroll down. After the hearing, Wendy stopped and chatted with a photographer who asked her if court went her way. She responded, it did. Then when asked if the emergency petitions went in her favor, she responded, they did. Thank you. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal Judge Elisa Sokoloff agreed to allow the former queen of daytime TV to move from the secured memory unit that Wendy has called a luxury prison. She lived there for the past half year to an unsecured floor in the independent living section at the facility. So that's important to understand, that she's not removed from the building, but the memory unit that she was on seemed to be restrictive. You had to have a key to get in the elevator to leave. But supposedly she's being moved to an unsecured floor in the same building, but just an unsecured floor, more like an apartment, an independent style living. As the U.S. Sun previously reported, Wendy's attorney, Sadatu Salami, filed an emergency petition last week to have the star moved from her restrictive living arrangement, an issue which seems to have been at least temporarily resolved in court on Monday. She will be in like a private condo now. She will have much more freedom to come and go as she pleases. She'll be able to have visitors, and she'll be free to leave when she wants, an insider said. Remember, Lauren LaRosa from The Breakfast Club went to try to visit her, but they wouldn't let her up. And per Lauren, she said that they told her there's no Wendy here. We don't have a Wendy here, when she's like clearly looking at Wendy and was from the window and was on the phone with Wendy right before that. So now she'll be able to have visitors, it says, and be able to leave and go as she pleases in the same building, just on a less restrictive floor. Wendy, who has never been photographed at guardianship court before, was there for a number of other important reasons as well. Her team will also begin settlement talks for the guardianship. Ultimately, Wendy wants completely out of the arrangement, but there are some tests she'll have to face moving forward to see just how much freedom she will be given, and if that means she's entirely free from the guardianship, or if she will be granted less oversight in the future with some other legal arrangement. But all that will be determined in the coming weeks. The source continued, basically, the judge took issue with the cognitive test she took last week at Mount Sinai. The judge said that I guess the test doesn't prove incapacitation. It just proved that she is coherent, cognitive, and alert. So Wendy will be doing another full cognitive workup to determine her cognitive ability and get a neurological exam for her frontotemporal dementia diagnosis. An insider added that the judge on Monday was open to hearing Wendy's wishes, and her team is now working towards settlement. I think this is all because of the spotlight that's being shined on them. Even as far as we talked about it, I think it was earlier this week, where the judge, Lisa Sokoloff, who is now open to hearing Wendy, was not at first and was upset that Wendy was speaking to the press and wanted to put her in a more restrictive guardianship, if you will, and sent an email was released that she sent. And she wanted Wendy to go to doctors that were connected to Sabrina Morrissey, her guardian. In that same video, we also talked about how the judge, Elisa Sokoloff, was at one point under investigation for giving guardianships to attorneys that had donated to a campaign for her. Now, all of a sudden, she's open. I do hope that whatever facility that Wendy goes to take all these tests is not affiliated with Sabrina and not Wendy, a neutral facility that doesn't know any of them. I mean, of course, everybody knows Wendy, but y'all know what I mean, right? They are seeking to have a trial for Wendy in her quest to be released from the guardianship, while her legal team is also trying their best to save her from extraneous legal fees, too. While inside the court, Wendy's niece, Alex Finney, joined for the first half of the guardianship hearing. As the U.S. Sun has previously reported, Alex has become involved in the fight to free her aunt from the guardianship. Wendy has railed against her guardianship and the restrictive unit. She has been held in for the past several months, the U.S. Sun previously reported. She has also hit out at the team of attorneys on her payroll who she said she neither hired nor wanted. The iconic television host has raised significant concerns about the memory care unit where she currently resides, describing it as a secured floor she is not allowed to leave. According to the U.S. Sun, an investigation by Adult Protective Services was initiated 2 weeks ago, which we know, again concerning Wendy's situation, ultimately leading to her hospitalization on Monday, March 10th. But I do believe I read that that wasn't the investigation by the Adult Protective Services was something separate to her going to the hospital. That was like the hospital was already scheduled for her to do these tests. You know, there's so much news going around. Wendy's guardian did not immediately respond to the U.S. Sun's request for comment. She don't never respond. Ain't been responding. Has she turned over those financial records to Kevin that the judge ordered her to? Anyway, I hope that this forward moving motion continues. I do think that Wendy should be tested. Yes, give her all these tests to show whether she is or isn't at the place where they're trying to say she is. And if the tests come out to show that she is, still get her maybe out of this guardianship. Maybe she has issues in one area and not the other, so she can be in a less restrictive guardianship and not this one. Because right now, to me, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. And of course, we needed to go fact over feelings, right? But this just doesn't feel right. I hope that this forward motion just keeps going for Wendy. And I'm glad that she's able to at least get all this accomplished, because I believe if it wasn't for the public outcry, she would still be where she was, locked away in this room. You know, so I'm glad that it's a big deal is being made out of this. And I hope that this causes them to look into even more guardianships that were put in place under this judge and other judges, and make sure that they're legit and that the people's money is being spent the way it should, and they're not being taken advantage of financially in these guardianships. So I hope that it just opens the door again for more people who are locked in guardianships that maybe they shouldn't be in and don't have a public face, so they don't have the public to cry out for them on their behalf. So shout out to Aunt Wendy. Last person I want to discuss, and I'm only discussing him because I discussed him earlier this week, Kim Kardashian's ex-husband. We know that he has been known to go on these Twitter rants and say things and do things. And I have heard people say, and I've seen comments wherein that he needs to be in a guardianship or a conservatorship. People were trying to figure out when all of this started with Kanye. Like, when did he become this person? And I remember years ago, people having the same discussion, and they were saying they feel like it was around the time that his mom passed away unexpectedly. I don't know, maybe major life events can bring on stuff like this, because remember, you know, they said that he was bipolar and he would take medicine. Then he came out and said that he wasn't. Recently came out and said that he wasn't. I forget what he said, but I definitely remember him saying that he was not. I want to look that up real quick because I don't want to misquote. Yes, he came out February and said that he had autism rather than bipolar disorder. He said he was misdiagnosed in 2016. He went on another Twitter rant and posted some disgusting things about Beyonce and Jay-Z's children. Specifically, they're 7-year-old twins. And I'm sure you know, but basically, he called them the R word. Said, has anyone seen Jay-Z? Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're slow, I'll put it like that's the, I don't even want to, y'all know what he said. Not like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is a blessing. Having our children is a choice. If Twitter takes my S down, then so be it. But I need y'all to know Jay-Z or nobody have no power over me. Of course, later he would go on to delete it and say that he's a good person. What he said was, I love Jay-Z and I do feel bad. I always felt like the black sheep, like I wanted family in this music-ish. I'd run on stages thinking I was doing the right thing. Is he talking about when he went on stage and grabbed the mic and said to Taylor, Beyonce should have won? When Taylor won, he said Beyonce should have won. He said, I'm going to let you finish, but Beyonce should have won. He said, I'd run on stages thinking I was doing the right thing and would always be a slight Hove not coming to my first wedding, him putting Kendrick on the Super Bowl over me, or even us never being invited to Ish, taking jabs about my red hat on Donda. I felt like both him and his wife could have helped me have more leverage with my kids. They could have used their cultural position to not just watch the Kardashians run over me. Ish hurts. So F. Now he's saying the words, I'm just saying the initials. So F both of them, because when I needed them, it was F me. This was all in caps. So of course, Mama Tina got wind and she posted looking as beautiful as ever. I'm on her Instagram. That what happens when I'm just going to play the audio. I ain't going to show the video because, child, they might not, even though she put it out there, I don't want them coming to snatch my whole thing. But this is what she said.
A set of a photo shoot today for my book. And I wanted to tell you a corny joke because I have on all this glamorous hair and makeup thanks to Cole and Darius. And Sienna on camera work. Got a corny joke. Want to hear it? Here it go. So, what happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? He has a meltdown. Y'all know that's funny. So,
what happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? He has a meltdown. So when she said snow, I was thinking, like drugs? Is she trying to say he's on blow, snow? I don't know. Her initial caption was changed because she put corny joke time with a heart. But before that, it said, it's hard to remain positive and classy in the face of ignorance and evil, but I know that no weapon formed against me or my family shall prosper. This battle is not mine, but the Lord's. I know God has got this. So, of course, Kim Kardashian's ex-husband hasn't responded to that. But we also know that Solange, I'm going to close that. Okay. Solange changed her, they were looking at the timing of Solange changing her avatar on X, I believe. I was trying to get it up here because I wanted to, she changed it. And it was it the album? Wait a minute, y'all. I wanted to tell y'all exactly. I want to scream because I literally had it up here. I want to scream. But she changed her profile. Oh, okay. Here it is. Solange changed the cover of her Twitter to a photo of herself from her last album, When I Get Home, while pointing a pow. You seen her work. That elevator, I'm just saying. Kanye then, before that, went on people betraying him, and he posted a list on Twitter. And he said, I'm in pain that no one person can fix the betrayal. Virgil, I think he's meeting Virgil, who used to be the head of something at Louis Vuitton, who has since passed away. John Legend. What did John do? Kim, Trav, Cardi, Big Sean, Jay-Z, Ty, Dirk, Common, Cudi. Is that the Cudi who Diddy's car, who Diddy allegedly blew up his car? Common. Oh, I said Common, right? He's over there with J Hud. Cudi, Pusha, Don C, Amber. Please don't summon her. The Kardashians, Adidas, a whole brand, Demna slash Balenciaga, my own. The betrayal come from these people. My own kids, my own family, the Black community, and then these are his words, and of course, the Jews. I'm in pain. I bled for everyone here. Now, from what they say, Virgil Abloh, who he was first on the list, was a longtime friend of his. It's also interesting how he says my own kids in quotes, when it seemed like he was close to North and his other kids. I don't know. This man needs help and fast. A part of me, because I feel like it can start out like this online. You see it escalate online repeatedly. And then who knows what that could turn into in real life. Remember the time he posted the kids' school addresses? You don't know how this could escalate in real life. You know? I don't know. All I'm going to say is they need to protect, I hope Kim continues to protect her children, do whatever she can, because you just don't know. And people can say, well, that's saying a lot. You don't know what he would do. I'd rather be safe than grieving. You know what y'all get what I'm saying. So I hope he gets the help that he needs. But moreover, I just hope Kim's children are safe. And I did hear that allegedly Jay-Z and Beyonce may be considering legal action. Let me see. I know that's just a rumor right now, but let's see. Against Kanye. Oh, I didn't say his name, child. So from Vibe.com, says Jay-Z and Beyonce are weighing legal action against Ye over his vulgar attacks on their children. Page 6 reports that the Carters were in shock over the rapper formerly known as Kanye West's most recent rant, where he called, we know, Rumi and Sir mentally challenged. A source close to the camp disclosed that the couple will absolutely not stand for it after Ye has spoke out about their children in such a vulgar and offensive manner. In fact, Jay-Z and Beyonce are aware of the post Kanye has since deleted and are discussing how they want to handle this situation, whether that be privately and or in a legal matter. Child. Also, I don't know if I told y'all on before, he said he didn't delete because he ended up deleting the post, which we know. He didn't delete them to be a good person. He deleted them because there was a possibility of his Twitter being canceled. It needs to be. At this point, didn't they take it down at one point? It most certainly needs to be. But anyway, child, enough about him. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. It's interesting, the article that I'm reading from HNHH, hot hip hop news. You know, writers know what they're doing. Journalists know what they're doing when they write articles and with captions. Even like me, you know, I may post something on Instagram that's funny, but you may use a provocative caption, right, to kind of draw people in, or even on YouTube, right? People may put a provocative or sometimes downright misleading caption to draw people in. But on hot new hip hop, when I read y'all the list that he says of people who caused him heartbreak, their headline is Kanye West shares long, heartbreaking list of people who betrayed him. And I felt like that was put that way in a way to kind of play on heartstrings. He's heartbroken. The media can definitely try to do that. So you need to be careful about that. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this going on. Do y'all think Jay-Z and Beyonce will publicly take action, or it may be more behind the scenes? I wanted to get into what's his name? Matthew. Did I read y'all Matthew Knowles' response? Lord, I must have deleted it by accident because I purposely pulled it up. But basically, Matthew was like, he hope he gets the help he needs, and Kanye should know better. Hold on a second, y'all. I must have deleted it, but that's what. Let me see. Here it is. He said he had an interview with TMZ, and he said, people pay a price for being stupid, especially in the music industry. I didn't get into all the rest of it. But yeah, people pay a price. You say again? For being stupid, especially in the music industry. And then he did say he hoped that he got the help he needed. Let me see. I'm trying to see because he said a little bit more. I'm hopeful Kanye gets the type of help he needs in terms of mental health. So the whole family is not here for it. Child, he better watch it. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Auntie Wendy. It's like forward moving steps. And y'all let me know what y'all think about Jonathan Majors and his interviews, and what y'all think about Meagan losing out on opportunities. And do y'all think he would have done that for her? Y'all, I've been sharing with y'all this whole time. Did not know I was sharing my screen that whole time. No wonder I look so little on the thing. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later. See ya.